All right, everybody, welcome to Music City Trop Rock. We might be a couple of minutes early, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and get started tonight. Got a very special guest here tonight, one of my buddies from Texas, Mr. Jonas Lorence. And of course, we're going to be talking about the Jonas Lorence Band and everything they got going on. But first, as you know, we got just a little bit of Music City Trop Rock to do. So the only thing we're going to talk about tonight, and the reason why we're only going to talk about this is because I've been extremely busy and I have not really spent the time today or this weekend to catch up on what is going on in the trop rock world. Maybe that's something that Jonas can share with us. If he knows something coming up, we can talk about that kind of stuff. But really quick, I have to talk about our event that we're putting on here, the Music City Fins in Nashville. We're putting on in August 15th through 17th is the Music City Fin Fest. This thing is really picking up steam. It's a long list of artists that are going to be there. I encourage you to go to Music City Fin Fest. That's with a PHIN on Facebook. Follow that group, that page, and that's where all your information will be coming out. We're not going to get way off into the weeds on that tonight because we're going to get on to it, and we're going to bring Jonas on. Let's see. It's been a while since I've been on here. Let me see here. Hey, Jonas.
What's up? How you doing?
What's going on, man?
Oh, not too much.
I hear you. So where are you right now? Are you in Texas?
Yeah, Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, have you watched any of my interviews or listened to any of them?
I think I've seen, yes. I'm trying to think which one I've seen. It's been a while. But did you do Don Middlebrook yet?
I did a couple weeks ago.
Okay, yeah. Maybe I saw a little bit of him because he's a character. He's
he
fun.
He is. So or you may not know, the first question that I ask, okay. I ask a curveball question to all my guests.
All right.
I'm gonna hold it up. I'm gonna read it too if you can't read it. Do you believe that aliens will invade Earth? Yes or no?
Oh, I don't. Well, what do you mean by invade? You mean like take over or just come visit?
Well, I would think invade is not a visit. It's something more nefarious than that.
So. Now they'll come, but they're not going to invade us.
No, hang on. I didn't write your name on the list here.
That's pretty good, though.
So, do you believe they exist or not?
Of course. Yeah, they're out there.
Awesome.
Out there.
So you and the guys just put out 6 feet new album, 6 Feet in the Sand.
That's right. Yeah.
And let's talk about this album a little bit because I know this is a new thing for y'all to put out. And there's some songs there's some previously released songs on here, and some new songs. So tell us about the creation of this album.
Well, what we do is over the last year or so, we've been putting out singles, and so it's just kind of a collection of our singles and building it up into one album. Because I always believe in having an album, old school, record album kind of thing. So we just wanted to put it all together and have something at the shows to sell, because Parrot Heads are probably the only group of people left that are going to buy CDs and albums and stuff. So they like to have them. They like to sign it, sign your name and all that stuff at the shows. And it's just fun to have at the shows and be able to sell something, sell your music. That's the way it used to be. And hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah. I went and bought a CD player a couple of weeks ago at Goodwill. And
boy.
Spoiler alert, it does not work. I need to take it back. But I don't even have a CD player in the house. I have one in one of my vehicles, but
You should have told me, because what I do also for people that buy the CD is I send them a download, a digital download. So if they tell me they don't have a CD player, then I'll also send the download for them so they can have the digital version.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Uh, what? Let me. What? There was a couple of songs on here I wanted to talk about. I don't have my glasses on. I got to hold it in front of the light over here. One particular song that kind of caught me by surprise was "Zombies."
Oh yeah, that's a true story.
Is it? Well,
Yeah,
I really dug the. I mean, you have a hardcore like reggae beat going on and a
yeah,
flute at the same
yeah,
time,
yeah.
and it just kind of works.
Yeah, I don't know. We were going to have a horn section on that, but I started playing around with it on my, I do a lot of demos at home on my iPhone. And so I found a flute loop and I put that on there just to play around with it. And I was like, oh, for some reason that kind of works. So we had our buddy, we have a friend in town that plays in a band called the Mighty Pelicans. And he came to the studio and did the flute part for us. And it was a lot of fun.
Did he just play like the same, or basically the same as
I
the
gave him the
loop, or?
loop, and I gave him the loop, and I said, "This is kind of what we're going for." And then he just took it in a totally different direction and didn't do anything like the loop.
Oh,
But that's fine. It worked out great. I'm pretty happy with the way he did it. He was a lot of fun to work with, and he goes down to Cuba and plays every couple of months, and he's just a lot of fun to hang out with and stuff. So we got him, in there, and he just kind of did his own thing with it. I mean, he definitely kept it. He kept the idea and the spirit towards what I had on the loop. But honestly, I didn't really want him to copy the loop anyway. So he kind of did
hmm
what I wanted him to do. But it
hmm
didn't sound anything like the original loop that we used. But that's how we found that sound. Is it was just playing with some loops and that flute just sort of came out of there. And so that's when we grabbed him and brought him in the studio. Now, if you come to the shows and my wife's there, she'll play the flute part for you.
Oh, really?
But yeah, she plays the flute. So we'll have her when she's at one of our shows. She brings her flute out and she'll play the part. So
Oh,
it's
that's
kind of
awesome.
yeah,
I can't play any wind instruments. That was beyond me.
yeah. Me neither. That's not my thing either. But she grew up with a musical family and went to college playing the flute and everything. So she's pretty good.
Well, tell us about Polly Conga. What
So
was the idea behind that song?
Dan Sullivan and me, I had an idea for a drunk parrot, and he had an idea for a Polly Conga. And I told him because Dan Sullivan lives close to me, and so we go hang out and write songs and work on stuff quite a bit. And I said, Dan, I need a conga line song. It's like we play these shows because I kind of feel like this CD that we put out, we're just trying to build a show. Original music show of fun, and so I felt like we needed a conga line song.
Hmm.
So I said, Dan, we need a conga line song. And I had the idea for the drunk parrot, and he had the idea for the Polywana conga. And so we just started, coming up with some ideas, some licks, and then did some words back and forth, and wrote some things down. And I went home, and then I woke up the next morning, and he just sent me this massive long all these lyrics and everything for the song. I was like, hold on, I want to write a little bit more of this with you. But he did a lot of the heavy lifting on that one, and then we brought it into the band and then came up with the licks and the beat and everything. And that's how it came out. So it's a co-write with Dan Sullivan, and I'm real happy with it. It's been super fun at the shows, and that's what we wanted it to be. We wanted it to be fun. When you come to our show, I want to make sure everybody has a good time. You got to have a conga line. Got to have, and I don't want to play Volcano because everybody plays Volcano. So
Hmm.
that's where it came from. I just wanted that conga line in the show.
It's sure a fun song. I met Dan Sullivan probably for the first time just a few weeks ago,
Oh yeah, he was just up there.
and I felt like an idiot because I said, I've been meaning to get some of your books and read them because I'm a big
Oh
reader.
yeah, that's
He said, "That's not me." I was like,
that's the
"Oh."
other one.
I had no idea. I didn't know. I
Yeah,
thought it was the same person.
yeah.
Um,
No, there's two Dan Sullivans. They're both good guys, but that Dan Sullivan lives down the street from me. So
right. The singer.
the singer, yeah, not the not the book. I think he's in Florida, I believe, if I remember correctly. But I met him once at Lone Star Luau, and it was kind of funny because I'd known the singer Dan Sullivan for so long, so it's kind of funny.
What I was going to ask you. I was looking at some of your videos and stuff on YouTube this weekend, just kind of getting prepared for this interview, and I
Mhm.
was watching Funky Little Beach Town, and I had seen it before when it first came out,
Yeah.
months ago or whatever. But that's a fun video. That's a fun song. Uh, but the video, I didn't notice, I guess, the first time I watched it, it has a lot of cameos in it.
Oh yeah.
Where
Yeah.
did you guys film that?
All over the place. Every funky little beach town you could imagine. The first video was, the first videos that we took was in Panama City at Rendezvous, and Sherry Carpenter. She's an award-winning TV producer in Jacksonville, Florida, and so she came out and kind of helped with some angles and with some directing and stuff. And that's where we shot like kind of the main shots on the beach, and then we went to North Padre Island and we did some there. I'm trying to think where else we did some. We did them in several different places. I'm pretty sure we were in Galveston. Um, Dang, where did we do? Padre Island was a big part of it, and Panama City Beach was a big part of it. So it's both sides, Texas coast and Florida coast. I think
Okay,
there's some other places in there too. I'm trying to remember. I got to go back and watch it, and I could tell you where it
because I
was
know,
done. But yeah, we did a lot of different places.
yeah, because I know I saw Eric and Gina in there,
Yeah,
and who else was in the? Danny Lynn was in it.
yeah. He was in Panama City. Yep.
Dan Sullivan was in it for like 3 seconds.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. And we did the pictures. So the
Yeah,
picture
that's where.
part,
Yeah,
and yeah. So yeah, thinking about that now. So the idea of that song, it came when I wrote it. It was really I wanted to capture the memory of going on a family vacation or going to a little vacation and just all the memories you get on that vacation. So that's where I came up with the Polaroid pictures. And so we did the Polaroid pictures everywhere. We did it all over Florida. Uh-oh. We did it all over Florida, all over Texas, and I think some of them were at Gulf Coast Days in Galveston. North Padre Island, Tampa. We did it. We did some at where was that? There was one place we played at in Central Florida, the Tipsy Umbrella. It's a house concert. We did some there. Man, we did those pictures everywhere. They came all over the place. So yeah, that was fun. But that's the idea. It's just supposed to be kind of a memory kind of thing. Just trying to capture the memory of those amazing summertime vacations and stuff.
yeah. The idea for the Polaroids, that was genius, man. That
Yeah.
was that was genius. If you haven't seen the video, go
Yeah.
check it out.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Thanks.
My wife's favorite song that you guys do, and I got another that reminds me of a question I'm going to ask after this,
Okay.
but her favorite song is "I'll Have What You're Having."
Oh, okay.
So tell
That
us about that song.
okay. So me and Tim, the bass player, or you can call him Tank, whatever. So we were sitting around, and he goes, "I have this idea for a song." I'm like, "Okay," and it's always when we're drinking. And so he said, "Well, it goes like this: I'll have what you're having." And I immediately said, "Looks like you're having fun," and it was that fast. And so once we came up with that concept, it took me about a day just to kind of work up the music and the rest of the lyrics. It was one of those that happened really fast, and
Yeah,
then I went to record it a couple different times, and it just never sort of made it to recording. It was kind of weird. Went to record it, and we just never got to it. And then went to again and never got to it. And then finally we got to it. We went in the studio and just recorded it all like that, real fast. Not one take, but almost one take. Maybe cut like a couple warm up takes, and it was all live in the studio too. And we went back and overdubbed the vocals, and then overdubbed all those crazy people at the end doing the call and response, which is also a weird coincidence because the studio we were at has a wedding venue right next door to it. And so the studio owner goes, "Hey, there's a bunch of girls that want to come into the studio and check it out. Do you mind if they come in?" And we're like, "No, we don't mind. As a matter of fact, we have a little part for them." And they did all of that call and response at the end of the song, which was just timed perfect. So they did a great job. But it's just kind of one of those weird things. It was just the time was right. And when the time wasn't right, it didn't happen. And when the time was right, it finally just everything fell into place.
right. Did you guys? I was going to ask you. Did you guys, as I was looking, put out an album that didn't make it onto streaming? Did you put out an album called Gulf Coast
Yeah.
Happy Hour or something like
Yeah.
that?
I actually don't have, and this is probably not very smart, but I have several albums that we sell at the show only, and it's just
Okay.
kind of one of those things. It's like you have to be at the show to get one. I'm sold out of those, and it's just always been. It's just kind of been on the back burner to put it online.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, this new CD is not online yet either. I'll probably have it online this summer for iTunes and all that stuff. But we kind of want to make a good run and pass and let people buy it firsthand at our shows
Hmm.
and see how that goes. And I don't know, just keeps it more personal and but yeah, Gulf Coast. We have Gulf Coast days or Gulf Coast happy hour. We have another one called Peace Signs and Coastlines, and another one called Back to Texas. But they're all just kind of at the show. You buy them at the show.
Yeah, because I knew that y'all had more music out than that when I was looking online. I was like, man, I know they got more music than this, but so I'm about to check some of that stuff out because I've not
Yeah,
heard all that.
yeah.
But tell me, okay, who are the girls from San Antonio?
Oh, okay. So we just get okay. So there you go. I just got back from San Antonio Parrot Head Club.
There you go.
Um, it's well, there's a lot of them, but the main ones are Lori Parker and Babs, and they're from San Antonio. They go everywhere, so they travel. They go to a ton of events, and I'm sure if you haven't seen them at some event, you'll see them eventually. You're definitely gonna. They definitely stand out. They dress wild, dress crazy, and they're super fun. And they're members of the San Antonio Parrot Head Club. Oh, dog's getting mad about something. But that's who they are. The Casper. No, that's Casper. That's our guard dog.
So,
But yeah,
yeah,
that's who they are. The girls from San Antonio.
okay. Because I didn't know. I didn't know if they were real people or
Oh
what
yeah,
when
yeah,
I
yeah.
when I
They're
heard
real
the song.
people. Yeah, the first. I mean, the story's true. The first time we met him was kind of one of our. It was actually the very first Parrot Head Club event we ever did was in Austin, Texas, called the Pirates Ball, and it's where everybody dresses up like pirates and everything. Well, they hired us. We didn't know what we were getting into because we didn't really know anything about the Parrot Heads, and we didn't know anything about any of that stuff. So we showed up and played their pool party, and at one point I said, if somebody buys a CD, I will come to your room and play in your room. And they were the first ones to buy CDs, and they bought the CDs. And sure enough, after the gig was over, we went back to their room and played. We played, I don't know, another hour or two in their hotel room. It was a lot of fun.
So that brings up a point. Tell us how you and Tank and Matt got together. How did you guys meet, get together, and you? And I guess you answered one question. You guys were already playing music before you kind of found your
Yeah.
way into trop rock.
Oh yeah. Me and Tank were playing. We've been playing together since like 2000 in different bands. We had a band called the Dealers. We also all played in a band called the Mark McKinney Band, and that was Texas country. We did that for several years, and just various bands over the years. And so at one point. I decided I wanted to do like kind of a beachy CD on my own. And I wasn't really much of a songwriter, but I just started coming up with these kind of beach songs. And Tim helped me record them. And so once we recorded them, we said, hey, let's go play some shows just during the week when we're not doing our other gigs. And
Mhm.
so we started picking up Wednesday nights and Thursday nights here and there, and we're looking for a drummer. And Matt had been playing with the Mark McKinney Band also, and I didn't know him because he was playing with them at a different time. But he came out and just started playing with us, and we just built it on those Wednesdays and Thursdays. And finally, one of the Parrot Heads came out to one of our shows and said, "Hey, come over and play the Pirates Ball." And we, like I said, we didn't know anything about it, and we went and played the Pirates Ball. And as soon as we played that, then another club said, "Hey, come play our event." And then we played that, and they said, "Come play our event." And then we just started working our way around all over Texas, playing for all the Parrot Head clubs in Texas. And we quickly quit our other bands and just started doing this.
So were you heavily influenced by like the Texas blues scene coming up?
That's part of it. Yeah, I mean, Texas blues was a big part. I mean, like that's kind of what we like to do, Southern rock and Texas blues and stuff like that. But I mean, I grew up on sailboats and beaches and being around boats all my life. I was hugely influenced by like Jimmy Buffett and that kind of beach music stuff. So that's when, I was doing a lot of blues and southern rock, but I wanted to break away from that and kind of do some beach stuff. And that's where kind of the cross came. It's like my gigs were all about the blues and southern rock, but the influence was the beach music. So that came together into the first CD that I made. And that's how and it was so weird. Like everybody will tell you, I did the music first and then just sort of found this Parrot Head Trop Rock audience for it. It's pretty amazing.
That's awesome. So we're talking to Jonas Lorence, and I have to mention the Jonas Lorence Band. We've been talking about them, but I have to mention that they are Trop Rock Music Association's Horizon Award winners for 2021, and for 2023 they won Trio of the Year, Song of the Year, and Video of the Year. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. Hard to believe, but yeah, it's true.
So I got to ask you, what was it like winning the Horizon Award, the first award? What was it like winning? And did you guys think that you were in the running for it, or had a shot, or what?
Not at all.
Take us
No.
back to 2021.
No, not at all. I mean, we were just playing. We were playing gigs and just doing our thing, and nobody. What'd you say? Oh, she's my wife's making fun of me now. So he wants to hear your flute here in a minute. So get your flute. Anyways, no, we definitely didn't expect it. It was pretty cool though because it was down in Key West at the old Key West Theater. That's where they were doing the TRMA Awards. I was just happy to be down there playing and got invited to play at the award show, and I was just happy doing that. That made me happy. I didn't think I was going to win. Didn't expect to win or anything. And actually, right before that, I won the Gulf Coast Days, or Gulf Coast Happy Hours Days album artwork, which that really surprised me because I do all the artwork for our albums, and so that won the TRMA award for the album artwork. And then I don't know, I was probably lost somewhere drinking, and Jerry Diaz was the guy on the microphone, and he announced the Horizon Award, and I couldn't believe it. It was just I don't know, it was a shock, definitely.
And so you guys have really become advocates of Trop Rock and Parrot Head clubs.
Oh yeah,
I believe that. At least that's the way I look at you guys.
yeah,
And we've talked before.
yeah.
Is that something you're passionate about? And what do you think needs to be done if we're going to continue, to maintain and build this community that is Parrot Heads and Trop Rock?
Well, I'll give you an example. We were, and I'm not in the Parrot Head Club. I'm just a member of our club. I'm a member of several clubs, but I'm just a member of it. When it's kind of a two-part thing because when I first started doing this, we did it all just on buddies. Like, hey, the first time we went to Florida, we didn't really have any money guarantees or anything. It was just kind of a whim, and people invited us and we went. And so many people when we first started doing that helped us. Well, come play our thing, come play this thing, and come play this thing. And so I wanted to return the favor to people, so I started booking the Austin Parrot Head Club happy hours. So now I reach out to everybody that has any interest in touring to come to Texas, and I help them put together like a little run through Texas. Like you'll do Austin, you'll do San Antonio, Galveston, North Padre Island, Beaumont, over there where Jerry lives, and we try to do that. And so we have the whole year booked up almost. We're getting into 2026 now. Like I think we have one date left in 2025 we have to fill. And so I do that because everybody helped me so much. And so I try to help everybody. That way you can get your music spread and get people out to your shows. I mean, it's so much better when you're traveling to go to a Parrot Head event and play than just some random bar. Because some random bar you may get, who knows. But at least if you go with the Parrot Heads, at least you have a built-in crowd, a fun crowd, and a crowd that wants to hear music. And they want to hear original music, fun music, and all that stuff. The other thing I think is trying to find new people, like younger, energetic, fun new people to join the clubs and to get into Trop Rock. So we were at a venue I don't know. We were. It was maybe a few months ago, and I saw this lady wearing a Bubbles Up shirt. And you have to kind of be a parrot head to have a Bubbles Up shirt.
Hmm.
And so, but she wasn't in. She didn't know anything about the clubs or anything. She had the shirt, so we approached her, and my wife got her to join the club, and now they come out and do the cleanups and hangouts and all that stuff. And I think they just have to do a lot more of that everywhere, all around the country. Just try to get new people, enthusiastic people, people that like music, people that like to have fun, and get them in the clubs.
Yeah, I think it's important for everybody to do that. I know that if we want to continue to have an audience, like you say,
Yeah,
but I know
exactly.
that here in Nashville, I think Sarah Bug heads up. We have or she has a young parrot heads club.
Really?
I don't know if that's the official name of it.
Okay.
I apologize, Sarah Bug, if you're listening. I can't remember the official name of it, but yeah, she advocates trying to pull younger people
Yeah,
into it and introduce them to the music, and I think that's a great thing.
yeah, yeah. Well, there's so much. What a lot of people don't understand is when you say Parrot Head, they think, oh, we're just going to go listen to Jimmy Buffett songs all night, and
Hmm.
that's not the. I mean, that's not the way it is. Most pretty much every artist that I know does their own music. And you may throw in a Buffett song here or a Kenny Chesney song, but most people do their own music. And the true trop rock fans, that's what they want to hear anyways. Is they want to hear your songs. They want to hear what you're doing, and they get into your songs. And so that's why we make a conscious effort to, when we put on our show, we try to do mostly original music and make it our own unique experience. And I think that's what they like. It seems like that's what we're trying to build, and that's what everybody hopefully is trying to build.
Yeah, I think it's a unique community in that the artists are accessible to the fans,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
they
yeah,
can get to know them and talk to them and hang out, and that's a kind of a unique thing to the trop rock world.
yep,
Compared to country or pop or whatever,
yeah.
nobody's really got the big head, or nobody's too good to talk to anybody.
No, 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 no. Everybody. I mean, that's kind of the whole point of it too. Is the more I can hang out with somebody and get to know them, and kind of explain what we're doing, or tell them, if they have a question about a song, we can answer it, or just have a drink with them, and just make everybody part of your family. That's
Yep.
kind of the way to do it.
Well, let's talk about guitars. You want to talk
Oh
about
yeah.
guitars?
I got some. Yeah.
And I have noticed, just seeing your videos and posts on Facebook and stuff like that, you have quite a collection of guitars.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, and some nice guitars from the looks of it. What's your favorite electric guitar?
Well, right now I've got the main one I play with is the Flying V. It's a
Hmm.
Gibson Flying V. That's my main guitar right now. I
What
when
year?
we were
What year model is it?
oh, I don't even to be honest, I don't know. I know it's built in the USA. I probably bought it maybe 15 years ago. I didn't buy it new. It was probably maybe a late 90s, maybe.
Okay.
If I had to guess, I mean, I could probably look up the serial number and find out. But it's I mean, it's not a super old one, but it just stays in tune. It sounds nice and fat. I took it in the studio when we were recording this last album, and there was one song, "Sail On," and I kept trying to get the guitar tone right for the solo, and I tried every guitar I had, and I finally picked that one up, and I didn't do anything to it. I just plugged it in, and it just filled the sound, and I've been playing it ever since. Just been using it all the shows. The only time I don't use that guitar is when we have to fly to a gig. If we fly, I take my Paul Reed Smith because that will fit in the overhead bin. The
Hmm.
Flying V will not fit in the
It's a
overhead
big
bin.
case.
Yeah, that's big.
So, do you have one that got away from you at some point that you wish you had back?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, one of my very first Stratocasters. I had a Mexican-made Stratocaster that I bought at Ray Henning's Heart of Texas. And I don't know if you're a Stevie Ray Vaughan fan, but that's where he bought his guitar,
Hmm.
his that main guitar that Stevie Ray Vaughan played. And you could go into Ray Henning's anytime, and he would tell you all about anything you wanted to hear about because he's seen everybody. But he'd talk about Stevie Ray Vaughan and the time he came in and kept playing that guitar over and over again, and finally he traded something for it to get that one. But Ray Henning was just kind of a Texas legend music store kind of place, and I bought that red Stratocaster there, probably 1994, 95. And at some point, I pawned it and I never went back and got it. And I regret that because that
Mm,
guitar was great. It played great. It looked great. It was really, really, and it was just, yeah, I shouldn't have got rid of that one.
I hate that, man.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you my Austin, Texas story real quick.
All right.
And this was back in the early '90s. We were touring all over the place, and we went out to uh, we were in Austin to try out a keyboard player.
Okay.
Can't remember his name or whatever, but they had just recently put up the Stevie Ray Vaughan statue out there in the
Yep.
park.
Yep.
So we go out there to, take pictures. We got to go take pictures at the Stevie
Yes.
Ray Vaughan statue. So we go out there. We take like a whole roll of film, of the band pictures around
Yeah.
the statue. And then we leave and we go home. A couple weeks later, we finally get home, or whatever, and go to develop this is in the days of developed film. Uh,
Oh, yeah.
there was no film in the camera.
Oh, no. Yeah. That sounds like something I would do.
So no pictures for the memory, but got the memory
Oh,
anyway.
I'll send you a picture. We just took some people. When we did our CD release party, we had some friends come in from Florida that came for our show, and they wanted to see the Stevie Ray Vaughan statue. So we all went down there and got our pictures with that. Luckily, we don't have to worry about film anymore. So
That's right.
have to make sure we have enough megabytes on our phone.
We're talking about guitars again. Tell me about that Taylor that you play. Is that a baby Taylor? What model is
That's
that?
a mini. What is that thing called? It's a GS Mini, is what they
A
call it.
GS Mini.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a GS Mini, and that's another one that like it's a good travel guitar. Um, when I go do acoustic shows, obviously I use that, but that fits in the overhead bin perfectly, stays in tune, sounds great, and it's real easy to play. So that's why I do it. I've got bigger Takamine acoustics that sound great and everything, but I just like the convenience. I like to be able to travel
Mm.
and get around and not have to worry about carrying something bulky around. So it sounds good and it's easy to travel with. So that's why I use it.
Do you always take it on board?
Usually, I mean, when we're
Carry on?
traveling in the van, we do, yeah, because you never know when there's going to be an after party. So there's after parties pretty much everywhere, and those are a lot of times more fun than the real gig.
Yeah.
So we got that, the after party guitar, and I bring that out. Now, Tim, our bass player, bought this little tiny bass. I don't know if you've seen that yet
Yeah.
in any
Yeah. Yeah.
pictures, but that thing sounds that's probably the best thing he's ever bought because it's just a tiny little bass, but it sounds so big and it sounds so good.
I've heard
And
them. They got like rubber strings on them or something like that. It
he's got
sounds
regular, yeah. He had the option to get. He's got regular strings on his,
okay.
but man, it sounds so good. And you can plug that thing in. And actually, when you listen to Polly Conga, that's the little bass.
Okay.
And when you listen to Stay, the acoustic version, that's also that little bass on the recording.
Okay.
So
Cool.
that's kind of cool. If you listen to that again, you would never know on the Polly Conga that that's a tiny little ukulele bass.
It sounds great, and I've heard him play it live, and it does sound
Yes, it
awesome.
sounds good. Yeah.
So Jonas, tell us, where are y'all going to be? What kind of dates do you have coming up? Anything you want to plug?
Yeah, we've got several things here in Austin. We have an event called "A Parrot Head Looks at 40," and it's the anniversary of the Parrot Heads, and that is the last weekend in June. Kelly McGuire will be there. Jerry Diaz will be there. Dan Sullivan, I think Stony Gable, and then we'll be there. And who else? They have another band called the Perfect Parrot Head Band. It's kind of a Buffett cover band, and that's at Cork and Barrel in Round Rock, Texas. The hotel's already sold out, but there's still tickets available, and it's Friday and Saturday, the last weekend in June. This coming weekend, we're going to be playing at R&D's Palapa Paradise in Seabrook, Texas. That's kind of down there by the Space Center between Houston and Galveston. So if you're into that, come on down for that. I think we have obviously Meeting in the Mines. If you're going to go to Meeting in the Mines, we'll be there Thursday with a closing band on Thursday night. And I'm trying to think, what else? What else am I missing? Oh, we got Flip Flop, Fling, and Float. That's in September. That's a little bit further out. Trying to think of what's current. We're going to be in Denver for the Denver Parrot Head Club and the Colorado Parrot Head Club in July, which is not somewhere we've been. So I'm looking forward to that. And when you guys are doing your Nashville
Mhm.
show in August, I'm going to be in Canada for Verona Corona's party.
Oh, dang.
So otherwise, I'd be there with you guys because I miss Nashville. I haven't been up there in a while, so I hate to miss that. But man, we're going to be in Canada, so I guess that's not a bad place to be in August. Should be
No,
nice up
no.
there.
That sounds great, man. Maybe if some of these listeners are out that way, I'll catch you somewhere. And
Yep.
I always encourage my listeners, and I don't have that many, but we're working on it. But
Yep.
this airs on a couple of radio stations, so
Great.
it will be out there. But I encourage you to look up Jonas Lorence Band and follow them, and download and buy their music, rent whatever you do, and and go out and see them live and support them in any way you can, man. Jonas, thank you for joining me. We're going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Thank you for having me. This has been great.
Yeah, we'll talk soon. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank y'all for joining us on Music City Trop Rock.
We'll see you.